Hello children, I hope you all are doing well. In this video, we'll be doing multiplication and division on large numbers. Let us start with multiplication first. So here we have two numbers, 421 and 802. If you read it, it is 421 times 802. So you can even see children that we can find out the answer of this multiplication by adding 802 421 times. We'll have to keep adding 802 many times and then we'll have to add them up because this is what it means. 421 times 802. But instead of doing that, let us see how we can do it in an easy way. So now I have arranged these two numbers in columns and we'll start from multiplying 2. So the first thing that we'll do is multiply this 421 by 2. After that, in the second row here, we'll multiply the same number with a 0. And now we are left with this 8. So we'll multiply this number with 8. Is it true, children? Should we multiply it by 8? No, we should not. It should be multiplied by 800 because this is not 8, this is 800. So now you can see, children, it is easy for us to do. We can multiply 421 by 2 and we can write down here. Then we can multiply 421 by 0 and we can write it here. Then we can multiply 421 by 800 and we can write it here. So you can see, children, I have written the answers here. 421 times 2 is 842. 421 times 0 is 0 only. 421 times 800 is, I have added the zeros here and I have multiplied this number by 8. So I have written the answer here. Now all we have to do is just add the numbers here. We have to add all the numbers that are written and we'll get the answer. So this is the answer. I have just added the numbers. You can see 2, 0, 0, 2, 4 plus 0 plus 0, 4, 8 plus 0 plus 8, 16. So it's 6 and 1 carry over. Then 1 plus 6 is 7, 3 as it is and this 3 also as it is. So the answer is this. Now let me take one more example. We have to multiply these two numbers. So can you tell me, children, where should I start? Yes, I'll start from the ones place. So I'll multiply this 1 with this number. This is the first step. Then the second will be, yes, to multiply this 5 with this number. But remember, children, we'll not multiply this with 5. We'll multiply it with 50. So it is up to you. You can place a 0 here and then you can multiply 5 with this number or you can multiply this number with 50. Similarly, for this one, the 3 we can multiply the number with the 3 and add zeros here. Why zeros? Because here we are multiplying the number with 300, not with 3. That's not 3. So we'll multiply it with 300. That is why we'll add 2 zeros. So this is how we'll multiply all the numbers and later we'll just add the answers that we get here. So this is how we do multiplication. Now in multiplication, the answer that we get, we call it something and that is product. So product of two numbers is the answer that we get after multiplying those two numbers. Let us see division now. Now we have these two numbers that we have to divide. To divide 8,19,263 by 652 means that how many 652 can be there in this number? Or if we divide this number into 652 parts, how many will be there in one part? So there are these two meanings that we can form from this. Let us see now how we can solve this problem. So children, this is how I have placed the numbers. Have I placed it correctly? No. Why? Because the first number is the dividend and dividend must be inside. At this number, 652 is divisor and divisor is outside. So I'll just exchange the places. This number will be outside and this number inside. Now let us see how we can solve this. Now we always do division from the left hand side, because if we do it from the right hand side, it will be difficult for us, because how many 652 will be there in 3 or 63 or 263? There will be no 652 in 263. Then we'll have to check for 9263, then 19263. So it will be tedious to do it from the right hand side. That is why we do it from the left side. Let us see how. We'll see the first digit from the left. It is 8 and we cannot divide 8 by this number. So we'll take 1 also. Now can 81 be divided by 652? No, still not possible. So we'll take 3 digit, 819. Now can 819 be divided by 652? Or will there be any 652 in this number? Yes, one time. I can take 652 one time in this number. So I'll just write it down. I have taken it one time. Where should I write this one? This one should be written exactly on the top of this number. Wherever this number is ending, it should be exactly there. This one will be here. After that, we will find the remainder that is there, which is 167. And you can see, children, this part is also remainder right now. So now we'll take 2 down. So we have 1672 now. How many times 652 can go in this number? It will be 2 times. So I'll write 2 here and I will take this 2 times and I can write it down here, the answer. So again we'll subtract the numbers and find the remainder, and then we'll bring this 6 down. Now again we have to think how many times this 652 can go in this. We can even multiply to find that out. Let me just write 652 here and I'll multiply the number. Let's try it with 6. If I multiply it by 6, let me see what I get. So 6 times 2 is 12, which means 2 here, 1 carry over. Then 6 times 5 is 30, plus 1, 31, that is 1 here, and 3 carry over. After that, 6 times 6 is 36, plus 3, 39. So you can see this number is coming out to be more than this number, which means 652 cannot be 6 times in this number. It will be less. Let us try with 5 now. So you can see, children, if we take 652 5 times, it is coming out to be 3260, which is less than this number. So it means that I can take 652 5 times. So it will be this number. Now I'll write this 5 exactly on the top of this 6. Let us find the remainder now. After this step, the remainder is 6. 8 minus 6, 2. 6 minus 2, 4. Now I can bring 3 down. That is the only number which is left up. Now, can you find, children, how many times 652 will be there in this number? It will be 6 times. So I'll write 6 here, exactly over this 3, and then we can write down the number 3912 here. Then we will subtract the numbers and let us find the final remainder. 6 minus 1, 5. Now 12 minus 9, 3. So this is the remainder because we have nothing left over here. So this is our remainder. Now children, we know that this number is dividend, this is divisor. Do you know what we call this number? This number is called quotient. So there are four things when we divide. One is dividend, another is divisor, then there is quotient and remainder. These are the four things that are there in division. Now, let me just ask you a question. Children, do you know how we can verify our answer in division? Yes, what we can do is we can multiply quotient and divisor. I just write it down here. If you multiply quotient, which is 1256, with the divisor, that is 652, after getting this answer, if you add remainder to it, that is 351, you will always get the dividend, that is 8,19,263. And if you are not getting this, it will mean that your quotient or the remainder is not correct. So you can always verify your answer with this. Now, let me tell you one more interesting thing about division. Children, when we divide a number with 10, 100 or 1000 or any other number like that, it is very easy for us to find quotient and remainder. If you divide the number, you will get 718 as your quotient. I am writing Q for quotient and 2 as your remainder. I am writing R for remainder. Isn't it interesting, children? I got it without even calculating it. You can even find this out. Do one thing, take a few numbers and divide those numbers with 10 and find out what is your quotient and remainder. Observe what is happening. Same thing, do it with 100. And after 100, do it with 1000 and observe what is happening. Your remainder and quotient will always be in a pattern. Just try to observe that pattern. So children, I leave you on this and I hope that you will try and find out why is quotient and remainder the way that they are coming. How can we find quotient and remainder without actually doing long division? So I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and keep learning.